You know how they say you got to toughen up, right? Build those
Yeah.
walls up to face the world. Well, we're going deep on something kind of different today. A twist on that whole idea.
Oh, yeah.
So we're diving into Rule 31 from the 40 Rules of Love.
Okay, yeah.
It's all about spiritual growth and, well, love, as you might guess.
Right.
And this rule, it says softening, actually makes your faith stronger, not, hardening yourself.
Interesting.
So that's what we're looking at. How can being more, I guess, vulnerable
Hmm.
actually make your faith more resilient?
Yeah, it's a real head scratcher, isn't it? You'd think it'd be the opposite. Like, you got to be tough, unbreakable,
Right.
right?
But this Rule 31, it's saying real strength in your faith. It's not about building those walls. It's more like creating the right space inside where love and understanding can grow.
So it's not about being a pushover or anything.
No, no, not at all.
Right.
When we say softening, we're talking about being more empathetic, kinder, but also there's this element of being able to bounce back from stuff emotionally.
I see, yeah. Like, imagine a willow tree, right? Bends with the wind instead of snapping like an oak tree.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Strength and flexibility.
Exactly.
But what does this softening inside actually look like, in everyday life?
Good question. Let's say you're in a disagreement with someone. Maybe they see things totally different from you.
Right.
Softening could mean you really listen to them, even if it's hard. Instead of just shutting down or getting defensive,
Yeah, yeah.
choosing, like understanding instead of judgment.
It's funny you say that. I remember this one time, I was so sure I was right about something.
Mm-hmm.
I barely let the other person talk.
Oh, yeah.
And looking back, I think my faith would have been stronger if I'd just been a little more humble.
That's a great point. And it's not just this book, this Sufi tradition. A lot of spiritual paths talk about this idea.
Really?
Yeah, they say that facing these tough moments, when you choose to soften instead of harden, it actually deepens your connection to something bigger than yourself.
So it's like a spiritual practice almost.
Exactly. And it's tied in with personal growth, too. Life throws you curveballs, right?
Yeah.
Illness, loss, heartbreak, all that.
Yeah, for sure.
And these things, they can either make you bitter and cynical, or they can kind of crack you open in a way, let in more compassion.
Because you see how vulnerable everyone is.
Yeah, you recognize that shared vulnerability.
So in a way, admitting you're not invincible, that makes your faith stronger because you're not pretending anymore.
Right, exactly. And there's this great quote in the book that sums it up. The only way to get closer to truth is to expand your heart so that it will encompass all humanity and still have room for more love.
Wow.
It's about opening up, not closing off.
So what we're learning here is that real strength in our lives and in our faith, it often comes from being softer, more compassionate, even when that seems backwards.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive.
It's about expanding your heart, not building walls.
That's the key. And it makes you think, right, how can you practice this softening today? Where in your life could a little more understanding and compassion create a stronger connection?
Great question. Thanks for diving deep with us today.